So when you look at each defendant separately, because that's what you're going to do, you're going to get 3 separate verdict forms. When you look at Mr. Bryan, what were his words? What was his conduct? What's his motive? What were the circumstances there for Mr. Bryan? What were they for Greg McMichael? What were they for Travis McMichael? All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to talk about the charges in the indictment. All right? I'm going to make a suggestion to you. This may help you. Start at the bottom of the indictment. All right? In your deliberations, start with criminal attempt and false imprisonment. It's just easier. You just work through that one, work your way on up, then to felony murder, then to malice murder. It's a suggestion. So what have we got? Criminal attempt to commit a felony, which is false imprisonment. What's an attempt? That's when you perform an act which constitutes a substantial step toward the commission of said crime. Mr. Bryan pulled out of his driveway and ran him into a ditch. Mr. Arbery was able to keep running. Right there, criminal attempt to commit false imprisonment. Criminal attempt to commit false imprisonment. This is actually what it says in the indictment. What do you have? In violation of the personal liberty of Mr. Arbery. Okay? Guess what? We're citizens of the United States, right? We live here. We have personal liberty because this is a free country. Other people can't go up and stop us and hold us and detain us. Okay? They have to actually have seen us commit that crime in order to effectuate a citizen's arrest. So you go around and you start stopping people, you're doing that in violation of their personal liberty. And what did they do? They unlawfully chased Ahmaud Arbery through the public streets of Satilla Shores in pickup trucks and did attempt to detain and confine him without legal authority on Burford using an F-150 pickup truck and a Chevy Silverado pickup truck. We all know that's what they did. False imprisonment. Now this is over on Holmes. In violation of the personal liberty of Ahmaud Arbery, did unlawfully confine and detain Ahmaud Arbery without legal authority. Once again, did not see him commit any crime, not a citizen's arrest. They are not law enforcement officers. They are not in a marked patrol car. They are not with badges on their arms. They're not in any uniform. Without legal authority. Said accused did chase Ahmaud Arbery with an F-150 pickup truck and a Chevy Silverado pickup truck through the public roadways of the Satilla Shores neighborhood and did confine and detain him on Holmes. Travis McMichael said he was pinned between the 2 trucks. Greg McMichael said he was trapped like a rat between the 2 trucks. The ultimate false imprisonment, he never left Holmes, did he? Never left Holmes. Aggravated assault, did make an assault upon the person of Ahmaud Arbery with a Ford 150 pickup truck and a Chevy Silverado pickup truck. I got a legal note here for you. Okay, you notice how it says and, okay, but what do we know? Mr. Bryan's driving the Silverado, Travis is driving the Ford F-150, Greg McMichael is in the passenger seat at first, then he's in the back of the truck. So of course, it doesn't mean and, it's or, okay? I know that sounds crazy, don't you love lawyers? Don't you just love lawyers? Okay, and means or, so the way you should read this is with a Ford F-150 pickup truck or a Chevy Silverado pickup truck. Okay? So, what are pickup trucks? They are objects when used offensively against someone can result in serious bodily injury or death. You hit somebody with the F-150 pickup truck intentionally? You hit them with a Silverado intentionally? Are you going to hurt them? Break a leg? Paralyze them? You could even kill them. We all know that. Hit and runs, right? Vehicle homicides. We all know this. And the medical examiner told you so. Actual injury to Ahmaud need not be shown for aggravated assault with the pickup trucks. The judge is going to instruct you. You don't have to actually hit the person. You don't actually have to injure them for it to be aggravated assault. What you have to do is place that person in reasonable fear of receiving a violent injury. This is really important, ladies and gentlemen. Did the defendants commit acts with their pickup trucks that placed Ahmaud Arbery in reasonable fear of receiving serious bodily injury? Yeah. Yes, they did. We know Mr. Bryan did. He ran him into a ditch, then tried to go at him again, then went at him another time, then backed up toward him. Now, what would Travis McMichael get on the stand and say? Oh, I just pulled up next to him. No, I didn't startle him. No, he wasn't afraid of me. Do you believe any of that stuff? Just look at the night owl video. Look at how Mr. Arbery tries to get away from them, and then look at them speed off after him. So all you have to do is look at that night owl video, and you'll know that they put him in reasonable fear of receiving bodily harm, violent injury, aggravated assault with the pickup trucks. Aggravated assault in count 6. Did make an assault upon the person of Ahmaud Arbery with a firearm, a deadly weapon. That 12-gauge pump shotgun with 7 already in it. 2 steps, pull the trigger. That's all you gotta do. The evidence is that the defendants attempted to cause a violent injury to the alleged victim by shooting him. Now, that's aggravated assault with a shotgun. Now, I want to be really clear, okay? Travis McMichael does this with the shotgun. We see it on the video. This is the beginning of the aggravated assault. Beginning of the aggravated assault. The aggravated assault continues as he steps away from his car door and blocks the road. Now, what did he say to you? Oh, it's putting distance between me and Mr. Arbery. Was he putting distance, or was he blocking the road? You decide. Then what does he do? He doesn't stay right there, does he? We can't see this, but what do we know? He makes it around that car door, right? He makes it over here, right? He's in front of his truck, and he's moving forward, closing the distance on Mr. Arbery, intercepting Mr. Arbery, and is right here with that shotgun. It wasn't at port arms like this. It was right like this. And how fast does Mr. Arbery come around the corner? And boom, shoots him. That is one continuous aggravated assault ending in the shotgun blast to his torso, right here. Came out right here. Right? So how was he when the shotgun hit him? Like this. Right? Got it across the wrist, got it right in the torso, came out right here. So he's turned like this, according to the medical examiner. Felony murder. Felony murder is when you commit a felony and someone dies because of the felony. Classic felony murder scenario. Guy goes into a convenience store to rob the convenience store. He's not there to murder anybody. He's not there to kill the clerk. He doesn't know the clerk. But he's got a gun, right? So what does he do? Pulls out the gun and is pointing it at the clerk. And the clerk's like, and what does the clerk do? The clerk goes and tries to hit the gun away and starts punching at the armed robber, right? And then what does the armed robber do? Boom! Kills the clerk. Was committing a felony. You cannot claim self-defense. You've now murdered the clerk because during the felony that you were doing, you pointed, you were doing armed robbery, you're pointing a gun at somebody. You expect when you're committing felonies, people are going to fight back, right? The convenience store clerk's entitled to fight back, right? Imagine if armed robbers could come in and go, well, I had to defend myself against the victim of my crime. Could you imagine if that was the law? Right? I mean, but isn't that what they're saying? How dare Mr. Arbery defend himself against their 4 felonies? Isn't that what they're saying to you? So felony murder, let's take a look at it. What is felony murder? For felony murder, the state must prove that the defendant caused the death of another, check, by committing a felony. Check, we got 4 of them. Do not need to show malice, okay, meaning intent to commit the death of somebody. You know, like the guy showed up at the convenience store, he's not there to murder the clerk. Do not need to show he intended the death with the felony. What we have to show is this, that the felony directly caused the death. You pull the trigger on the shotgun, aggravated assault with shotgun, yeah, immediately caused the death, right? That's a no-brainer. But what about the other 3? You're sitting there thinking, okay, Linda, what about the other 3? What are we really talking about here? Did the other 3 felonies, aggravated assault with the pickup trucks, false imprisonment, criminal attempted false imprisonment, did they play a substantial and necessary part in causing the death? The state's position is, yes, they did. In other words, but for this felony being committed, the death would not have occurred. It's real easy. But for the felony being committed, this death would not have occurred. All right, so when does this really apply? The defendants are in the process of committing a series of felonies. They're doing it together at the same time. The defendants shoot Mr. Arbery during the commission of the felonies. Did that felony committed against Mr. Arbery ultimately contribute and lead to his death? So how do we look at this? Aggravated assault with a shotgun? Yes. Pointing that shotgun at him, having him run away around the side of the car, Travis McMichael intercepting him with the shotgun and then shooting him? Definitely aggravated assault, felony murder. Aggravated assault with pickup trucks. Well, once again, what do we have? Would he be dead if he hadn't been pinned between these two pickup trucks? Think about this. If he'd made it up Holmes and over on Zellwood, he'd have run out, right? If he hadn't been pinned between the two pickup trucks on Holmes with Mr. Bryan running him towards the white pickup truck, would he still be alive? Yeah. Their use of the pickup trucks to go ahead and commit aggravated assaults on him, put him in fear of them and their pickup trucks, meant he was running away from them. We saw it, running away. Did their actions, were they such that they put him in reasonable fear of receiving bodily injury? And did that contribute to him ending up where he ended up and his death? Yes, it did. Felony murder. False imprisonment on Holmes, that's what we're talking about. Did they falsely imprison him on Holmes? We've already gone over it. Had him pinned on Holmes, trapped like a rat between the two pickup trucks, according to Greg McMichael. He's still, after 5 minutes, running away from them. If they hadn't done this on Holmes, would he be alive? Ask yourselves that. If the answer is yes, felony murder, check it off. Criminal attempt at false imprisonment. So you're thinking, well, Linda, I mean, seriously, okay, that was over on Burford. I mean, yeah, they pulled up to him. Hey, stop, we want to talk to you. He runs away. They pull forward. They go down to the end of Burford. He then runs away from them again. They're trying to falsely imprison him over there. Did that contribute to it? Yes, because that's when they began their attack. They're using the pickup trucks over on Burford to put him in reasonable apprehension of receiving serious bodily harm. They're putting him in fear with their actions. What does Mr. Bryan do? Actually runs him into a ditch. Runs him into the ditch. Aggravated assault. So what's Mr. Arbery doing? We know he runs away from them, and runs away from them, and runs away from them. Because they have tried to falsely imprison him on Burford, and they've used these pickup trucks to do it in a manner that's likely to cause him fear. We don't know what was going through his head. Nobody knows. That would be speculation. But you're allowed to look at it and go, were their actions such that it would put a reasonable person in fear of getting hurt? That's what you want to ask yourself. Those are the felonies in the indictment. So malice murder. What's malice murder? Well, cause the death of another person unlawfully and with malice aforethought. Now, malice aforethought is not ill will or hatred. It's not like what we think of. No premeditation is required, okay? Rather, it's the unlawful intention to kill without justification, okay? Well, what's justification? Justification is self-defense. Deliberate intention to kill is one way you see malice murder. I'm deliberately taking your life. I'm killing you. How do we usually think about that? Well, you're out to get somebody. You want the husband murdered for the insurance money. You're going to go ahead and execute somebody. You're mad at somebody. You're enraged at somebody. You intend to kill them. That's deliberate intention, right? But there's another kind of malice, and that's implied malice. You are allowed to consider this when looking at malice. You may also find malice when there does not appear to be significant provocation, and the circumstance of the killing shows an abandoned and malignant heart. Don't you love lawyers? What the heck is an abandoned and malignant heart, right? Well, think about that. You just don't care. You just don't care. What you're doing, you want to do what you want to do, and boy, whoever you're doing it to had better be okay with it. I'm going to order you to stop and talk to me, and if you don't, I'm going to pull out a shotgun on you. And hey, you're still going to run away from me? Oh yeah, I'm going to come at you. I'm going to intercept you over here at the corner. How dare you turn on me? Bam! Malice, right there.